I suppose if I'm going to talk about my journey for this surgery that I'm going to get, I should talk about where I've come from. My name is Cameo. I am a massage therapist I have been for 11 years now, since 2012. I have two wonderful baby girls. They're not so baby anymore, 14 and 10. They're pretty big now. And of course, postpartum care in America isn't all that great. So my first pregnancy was actually pretty easy in 2009. Didn't have any problems throughout the pregnancy. It was all good. On delivery, I had some really significant tearing. Like, trigger warning, this is gross. Just fast forward a little bit. I basically tore from cervix all the way out to the perineum. So that's the entire vaginal wall was just kind of open like that. So that wasn't good. I had to get repairs for that, and afterwards, they checked it and said, yeah, it's healing great. And I didn't have any PT, I didn't get any work done, any of that. Luckily, I am a pretty good healer for myself, so I didn't think that I had any problems. I thought I came out of there pretty well. And then my second pregnancy was about 3 years later. I had her in 2013. That pregnancy was really hard. That one took a lot out of me. I had hyperemesis through most of it, which is where, you can't stop throwing up. I had to do suppositories so that I could keep anything down. Went into the hospital a couple times to get rehydrated because I couldn't even keep down water. Anyways, after that particular pregnancy, my body it was not in good shape. I was pretty much, I don't even know what you'd call it. I was pretty broken. It took me a long time to kind of build my strength back up, build my body back up, get myself to a place where I was comfortable. I remember at one point we had just moved into our new house. We were walking into town with my two little girls. I believe they were about 6 and 9 at that point, and it was just a mile into town. There's a mile into town and a mile back. It's not that much, right? And I walked all the way there, and I walked all the way back, and my little girl turns around to me before we get to the front door, and she goes, "Wow, Mom, like, you're not grumpy. That's pretty cool." And I just remember looking at her and being like, wow, like, I actually do feel okay. And some things hurt and stuff like that, but there were years there. I mean, 6 years of me not wanting to walk around the block because it would just make things hurt. My nausea never really left. In fact, I still have some of it. It's not nearly as bad as it used to be, yet it is pretty constant. It's one of those things I've kind of gotten used to. It's just, yeah, if I think about it right now, I'm a little nauseous. It's probably why I like sparkly waters, because, kind of goes through the tummy and makes it feel a little bit better and all those sorts of things. And I drink a lot of kombucha and all those sorts of things. I'm working on that part of it. That's a big part of it, because I've noticed how much it limits what I can do and what I want to do is a big one. As part of that whole getting back from especially those pregnancies is learning about my body, learning where my weaknesses are and where my strengths are, and honoring my body so that I can work with it instead of working against it. I went to a lot of doctors. They would run blood tests and then come back and go, no, there's nothing wrong with you. You're okay. Everything looks great. And then I had a client of mine recommend me to a naturopathic doctor. His name's Dr. Jesse Butler, and he did blood tests also. And then he sat me down and he went through each one and basically showed me how I'm not pathological. I don't have heart disease. I don't have a thyroid problem. I don't have, diabetes or anything like that, or prediabetes or anything like that. However, I was on the border of everything. I was right there, and how conventional doctors will, they won't actually do anything until you're here. Here, you're fine, you're safe, you're good. They're not going to medicate you or anything like that. Here, they get to medicate you, so this is where they wait for. So I've been working with Jesse Butler for 8 years to help bring my body back to balance, back, down to its optimum health, to where it really needs to be. And that has meant a lot of different things, like oil pulling. What I eat is a huge one, of course. I do hot cold showers. I do castor oil has been one of my favorites. I do breathing exercises and just little habits that you can start pulling into your everyday, like just going outside is a big one. You wouldn't think it would be, but fresh air and just taking a walk around the block, it's a lot more important than you think it is. Being a massage therapist, I am open into a world where there's a lot of alternative medicines. I get to meet a lot of people like acupuncturists and chiropractors and energy workers and all that sort of stuff. And, I've done trades with them over the years. I've paid for services. Those have all really helped. Like, I love chiropractic and I love acupuncture. I also absolutely adore most of the energetic techniques. There have been a couple that didn't really jive with me as much, and I think it was probably just that you have to find the right practitioner. In fact, you have to find the right practitioner for all of those things. I went through quite a few chiropractors and quite a few acupuncturists before I found the ones that seemed to help me where I was and where I am, and be able to grow with you and all that sort of stuff. That changes too. Like I had one chiropractor who was great for a year, and then I progressed to a point where it wasn't working anymore and I needed to find someone else. Ended up working with a couple of ladies that were fantastic, and they really helped out. I have done a lot of work into the energy fields for myself, like for my journey. Therapeutic stuff, especially, like actually seeing a therapist, it was a big one. There's a lot of mental that goes along with all of the pain and the discomfort. One thing that really struck me throughout the years was how easy it was to be in a bad mood when you were in pain. How most people in bad moods are in pain in some way. And how much that affects the people around them and everything like that. I definitely experienced that. Like with my children, I had to give a lot of apologies and reiterate to them that people are not allowed to treat them that way. Like, I think that was a really important part of moving through all of this, was recognizing where I'd gone wrong and maybe showing my children that, so that perhaps they could learn it instead of having to go through it. Hopefully. we'll see how that goes. But that basically brings me to now, to here, to where I am. And I'm excited about what comes next. I'm excited about what I get to do, what else I could learn. There's probably a bunch I've forgotten, but I'm sure it'll come up in some of the videos. I'm just kind of proud of myself for getting a video too.